Hey guys, Ultramaximus back with another top 10 video. Today we're going to take a look at my top 10 great movie endings. Now this doesn't mean that they're the greatest movie endings of all time or they have any bearing on the impact of the film, of how good the film is. These are just the top 10 movies that I think have great endings. So let's go ahead and look at number 10. Number 10 is going to go to Forrest Gump, starring Tom Hanks and directed by Robert Zemeckis. This is a classic modern film. I don't know anyone that doesn't like this movie. I just watch this every single time it's on television. And, I got to say, the ending is very, very artistic in the fact that it basically stops the way it starts. So at the beginning of the film, we've got Forrest Gump sitting on the bench, and during the opening credits, we've got this little feather that's just kind of floating around the breeze, kind of whichever way the wind blows, drops down in front of Forrest. He picks it up, he puts it in the Curious George book. The movie goes on about itself. At the end of the film, we've got Forrest back home, and he's sitting on the stump next to the mailbox. He's talking to his little boy, pulls out Curious George, and, there's a very, very touching little moment there. The feather falls out of the book. Boy gets on the bus, leaves, and the credits start rolling, the music starts rolling, and the feather floats back up into the air and off onto the breeze again. And it's just a very artistic and poetic ending to a very good film. Number 9 is going to go to Batman Begins. While I think this is the weakest film of the trilogy, I really do like the ending. Now, I will give a special shout out to the Dark Knight ending. I really like the Jim Gordon voiceover as Batman rides up into the end title sequence. But I think Batman Begins has the better ending. We see Jim Gordon and Batman next to the bat signal, and they're talking about the arms race of the supervillain and superhero, which is really, really cool. I really, really dig that. And they talk about the new wacko in Gotham, basically, and he leaves a calling card, and when they flip it over, it's the Joker. And that was just a great way to kick off the entire Batman trilogy, and that's why it's number 9. Number 8 is going to go to Iron Man. And this was a great Marvel movie, a lot of fun. Robert Downey Jr. nailed Tony Stark. I really did dig it. But this had one of the funnest endings of any of the Marvel films. He goes and he's doing the press release, and he's talking about he's staying on cards, and he's trying to be all political about it, and they're trying to do this cover up that the special government group wants him to do, and this and that and the other, and then at the very end he just comes off of the card and says, "I am Iron Man." And it was fantastic. A great nod to the original Batman film where he says, "I am Batman." It's just very lighthearted. It's a flip of what Michael Keaton had done in the film and just announces to the world he is Iron Man. He doesn't care. And I love that ending. Number 7 is going to go to Planet of the Apes. And I'm going to specifically talk about the remake from 2001. I do love the original Planet of the Apes ending. It's a classic twist ending with, we did it to ourselves, damn you all, and the Statue of Liberty and all that. I mean, that was fantastic. And I think that the remake pulls that off as well. A lot of people hate the remake. I don't. I like the film. I thought it was well done. I liked the story. I liked the effects. I thought it was a good update. And I think the ending is really great in the fact that Mark Wahlberg's character goes back to Earth, and when he gets there and lands in D.C., there are the apes, all in modern civilization, and it just really cool, and it kind of throws the audience for a loop, and you're like, what happened? We still don't know to this day because we never followed up with that film, unfortunately. But I thought it was a great ending and a great homage to the original, and not only the original film, but we've seen some Planet of the Apes stuff, I think in the TV series, where they were kind of modernized, like we saw at the end of that film, and I just really, really liked it. Number 6 is going to go to Toy Story 3. This is a great end cap of the Toy Story movie series. I really did enjoy this. I loved the epicness of this one, and it's just very nostalgic and it tears at your heartstrings. And the ending was so great with Andy looking over at the toys on the little girl's deck and, saying, "Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate all the memories in the childhood." And he drives off to school and the toys get up and they look, and you get that one last, so long partner kind of thing and all the toys. And then they're like, "All right, guys, so, hey, I want you to meet the new toys, blah, 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 blah." Just really nice wrap up. And it scrolls up into the sky, and the clouds are the same pattern that we see in Andy's bedroom from the first Toy Story. And it's very emotional, very heartwarming, and just a phenomenal wrap up to the series. Number 5 is going to go to Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest. This was an okay sequel to the first film, which was utterly phenomenal. I absolutely adore that film. I think it's one of the best Disney movies to have come out in 30 years. And I did like this ending. While I like the first ending, had a great little punch and cute little kick with the monkey, I really liked how this one kind of ended in that Empire Strikes Back kind of, we're in the worst spot possible. And then Calypso's asking, "Okay, would you do anything? Would you go anywhere to get Jack? Would you go to the end of the world? And then you're going to need someone to take you." And out walks Captain Barbossa. I mean, he embodies what a movie pirate is to me. And just a great entrance, a great line, and a total seat shocker when we see him. And that's why it's number 5. Number 4 is going to go to Casino Royale, the reboot of the James Bond franchise with Daniel Craig. And I really like this movie. From the opening sequence through the entire film, I think Daniel Craig is probably my favorite James Bond that's out there. And I just love the ending in this film where the bad guy gets a phone call and Bond is, "We need to talk." And he's like, "Well, who's this?" And he just shoots him in the leg with a sniper rifle, and the guy crawls up to his house. Bond walks up, and he's got his cell phone. The Bond theme's playing, and he's like, "The name's Bond, James Bond," and it just ends the credits with the Bond theme. Very classic, just a very nice last punch to the audience. Really loved it, and that's why it's in my top 5. Number 3 is going to go to Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. And it was a very close call between this and Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. With the death of Spock, the reading of the classic literature, and then Leonard Nimoy as Spock doing the Star Trek opening as the ship flies away and the trumpeting music. I mean, that was really, really great. But I think this beats it in the fact that this is the final voyage of the Starship Enterprise with the original crew. This is the swan song of Star Trek, in my opinion. This final scene where they have this heartfelt goodbye to Sulu. They get ordered to put the space dock. They're like, "Well, go to hell with these orders." Fly on to the second star to the right, straight on until morning. A great Peter Pan classic literature reference. And we get this final captain's log with Kirk that basically passes the baton to the next generation. And the Enterprise flies off into the sunset. And in the end credits, this beautiful music, we have the entire cast sign their signature saying goodbye to the franchise. And that is why it's number 3. Number 2 has to go to Jurassic Park, the original 1993 film. This is another modern classic movie. Love it. This was the film that made me want to get into writing, made me want to get into films. And the end scene in this film is just phenomenal with the T Rex coming in, going after the velociraptors. The humans are looking in awe. They're getting saved by this T Rex, and it's just attacking animals. It doesn't really care about the humans. And, they run, they get out, and then the T Rex roars. The banner that says "When dinosaurs ruled the earth" kind of falls down. The T-Rex still roaring, kind of like, yeah, right. What do you mean? When? I still do. Just a powerful scene. And then we have that nice, slow warm out where they're on the helicopter, some very nice, soothing music, and they look out and see these birds, which are the ancestors of dinosaurs, right? It's just kind of one of those, wow, I'm glad they're birds, not dinosaurs anymore moments. And then it goes off into the Jurassic Park theme. Great, great ending. Probably one of the best cinematic endings, in my opinion, out there. And number one has got to go to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yet another modern classic film. This is one of the best adventure films I think ever made. Indiana Jones. Who can argue that? But it's the ending of the movie that makes it so utterly epic. They get the Ark from the Nazis. At the very end of the film, we see that it's being boxed up in a crate, military first class government. It's in this big, huge warehouse, who knows where, and this little old guy, just some dude doing his job, he's got it on a cart, and he starts wheeling it down this immense warehouse with all this government secret stuff. And he just walks down for a while, turns on some random aisle to put it on a shelf. And I mean, that is probably the most epic movie ending ever. Absolutely love it. So there it is, my top 10 great movie endings. What do you guys think? I'd like to hear your opinions below. What movies did I miss that you think should be on this list? I appreciate you guys for subscribing to my channel, for sharing my videos, and as always, look for new videos in the future.